Room 21 Rockstar families, and welcome back from Thanksgiving break. I traveled back to Pennsylvania just this past week for Thanksgiving, and there was so much snow. It just got me thinking of snow days and winter, and the fact that, honestly, we only have 3 more weeks until our 2-week-long winter break. So we have so much to do in that amount of time, and so many incredible lessons planned. And different things with Barrett Academy that I cannot wait to get this started. So it's so great to have you all back. We have a rockin' week ready to take off in Room 21. So, a couple of announcements before I send you over to the strategy session for this week. Tristan Pinkerton remains our rock star of the week. Just another shout out to Tristan for those amazing greetings, that amazing work in implementing the Barrett Academy Constitution into his daily life. So incredibly proud of you, Tristan, this week's Rock Star of the Week. This Wednesday, if you can believe it or not, in 3 days from today, Sunday, Wednesday, December 3rd, from 6 to 7:30 p.m., Mrs. Smith, Mrs. Sutton, and our class have our first family night of the year. This family night is going to be an absolute blast. We're actually it's basically a family game night. And we're also going to show you what our academy time looks like on a weekly basis. So a ton of fun things going on. We're asking every 5th grade family that can attend to send in a pack of hot dogs and a pack of hot dog buns. And if you can bring those in prior to that evening, even if you bring them in up till Wednesday morning there, that way we can have those prepared and ready to go. 4th grade and 3rd grade will be bringing different items for that to make that a success. And just keep in mind, it is for the entire family. We're going to have the games provided. It is going to be an absolute blast, so I hope to see you all there Wednesday night, 6 to 7:30 p.m. in the activity room / cafeteria area is our first Barrett Academy family night of the year. Hope to see you all there. And if you haven't sent in that reservation form yet, you can shoot me an email. You can send it in anytime this week. We just need to kind of have an idea of who can make it and how many, to prepare for. So I hope to see you all there. Now I'm going to send you over to the strategy session, but actually this week our strategy session begins right here with me. What I want to work on first, this week we're really working on adding, subtracting, and then towards the end of the week multiplying decimal numbers. Now, a lot of the scholars took a pretest for me before Thanksgiving break, and they really had down adding and subtracting decimal numbers, which is great. That was a 4th grade concept that they were supposed to come to have mastered. Now we're going to take it up a notch. This week we're beginning an incredibly fun activity called Shark Tank Barrett Style, and if you've ever watched Shark Tank on ABC, that it's basically where entrepreneurs come up with these ideas, these inventions, and they have to sell them. They have to get an investor to put some money into their idea. And they go out in front of this panel of celebrities, and they're trying to get someone to pick it up and invest in them. So this week and going into next, the rock stars are going to be taking, coming up with something, some invention, every single one of them. And based on that, they're then going to be able to, they're going to first of all have to buy the supplies, which is just going to be recyclable material from the classroom, create that budget, determine how much it would cost to put that into mass production, come up with that presentation, and actually go in front of a panel of judges probably next week, which I'm so incredibly proud of, or so incredibly happy about. So going along with that, adding and subtracting decimal numbers, here's a simple activity you can do at home if you want to earn some house points. Get ready, scholars, because here we go. So here's my Walmart receipt, from shopping. So if you have any receipt at home, it could be from the gas station, it could be from a fast food place, it could be from a restaurant, it could be a receipt that you make up, okay? It doesn't even have to be real. What I want you guys to do is make a real-life problem based on this receipt, because if you didn't notice, okay, let me zoom in on a small portion here. Check this out, guys. If you haven't noticed, many of the prices on your receipt right here are decimal numbers. Okay, $1.28, $3.47, $3.48, $1.58, $3.98, $1.64, $8.88, $3. What I want you to do is create some type of problem, okay? And as many problems as you create, you can get 2 house points for each one. So let me give you an example. Okay, I got some baby carrots, and I also got some pasta salad the other day. Okay, so my baby carrots cost $1.28, and my pasta salad costs $1.64. So a problem that I would write down, and I'm just going to say it orally right now, would be, I would put those prices into my word problem. So Mr. Riker went shopping at Walmart the other day. He bought a thing of pasta salad that was $1.64, and he bought a thing of baby carrots that was $1.28. How much more was a pasta salad than the baby carrots? Okay, and then obviously that's a subtraction problem. You're trying to find the difference, and that's how it would go. You can, do an addition problem where you take a bunch of items and add them together. Because imagine if you seriously went to Walmart and say that the electric went out, so they had no, way just to scan the items and have the computer calculate the total and different things like that. The cashier would legitimately have to know how to add, subtract numbers, how to make change, different things like that, all involving the addition and subtraction of decimals. So for every problem that you complete, bringing in 2 house points, you can add to our board, and you will probably find some of those if you bring them in for our daily problem of the day, which would be awesome as well. Okay, now I'm going to send you over to the web-based portion of the strategy session, and I'll see you guys on the other end. Okay, Room 21 Rockstars, so I'm going to start you off with some more practice on adding and subtracting decimal numbers, and then next week I'll throw in those multiplication and division numbers. One of the major things we're going to be working on this week is, number 1, neatness of work, but also number 2, checking our work with the inverse operation. So if we're adding, we can check our work by subtracting, or if we're subtracting, we can check our work by adding. That's going to be one of our major goals this week. So I started you guys off with just a couple of problems right here. Finding the sum, finding the difference, and then finally I have an actual snowfall total problem. I know we didn't get any snow here, but when I headed back to Pennsylvania, we had a ton of snow. There's a nice application level problem. You can get yourself 2 house points for each one of these problems if you bring them in, guys. Just some quick practice on adding and subtracting decimals. But the major thing I want you to work on is check, number 1, neatness, obviously, but checking with the inverse operation. Okay, so if you add some numbers together, I want you to check with subtraction. If you subtract numbers, I want you to check with addition. Okay, so check with the inverse. That's the big focus for the week, to kind of clean up our work and make that nice and neat. And I also gave you that receipt exercise just a second ago, which would be great practice as well. Now I'm going to take you over to our Class Fusion page under Mr. Records Rockstars. And I even have some further practice if you want to clean on up as well. If you come down under Class News, there are 2 different areas you can visit. So the first link, if you click on this one, is going to give you addition and subtraction decimal word problems. The second link is simply straight up computation. If you need to clean up that computation when you're adding or subtracting numbers, that would be great practice there. So you can choose what you want to go with, okay? So I'm going to take you to the word problem section because I think that's better application level work. But here's an example of a problem. Nina runs 6.1 kilometers every morning. One day she runs 3.8 kilometers and then stops to take a break. How much farther does Nina have left to run? So once again, 1 house point for each of these. You have to show your work, Rockstar. So somehow, some way, show that work, and make sure you're also labeling everything, showing that representation. Okay, so this would be great practice to add and subtract decimal word problems, as is our focus this week. Now, let me go back one here. So that's the first one. Like I said, the second site, one house point for each one of these as well, simply adding and subtracting decimal numbers. So you can get some good house points there, guys, under the decimal computation practice for the week. Now, over in reading, over the next few weeks, we are going to be summarizing information. And one of our big focuses in class is going to be able to take, a big, long passage and be able to tell a summary in only a few sentences, 1 or 2 sentences. Very precise, but at the same time, very descriptive. And we're going to be working on that in class, and here are some great questions that your parents or you can ask yourself when you're at home reading. So I thought that the activity for the night is, since you're reading 30 minutes a night anyway, at least, just take what you read and write a summary on it. Okay, and at first that summary can be lengthy. Remember, I showed, and I'm going to be showing you on Monday, that cone. So this could be your first summary up here, an upside down triangle. Pretty lengthy, very descriptive. Your second summary, kind of trim it down a little bit. And finally, your third summary, it's a tiny portion of the triangle. Make it very precise, very short, yet very descriptive, covering every part of what you read. So you can go ahead and summarize what you read for a night, bring that in with that summary. You can have it like this. You could use the triangle method. Start off with a very long summary and go down to a very precise and short summary. But you can get yourself 5 house points if you do that for your nightly reading. So you could go ahead and do that tonight or any day this week. Great way to practice summarizing at home. Okay, science, I'm going to leave some strategies for next week. Since we're just getting into the matter topic, I want to be able to do a few things. I'm going to give you some application level experiments at home for next week, so stay tuned there. And finally, for writing, this writing assignment was put up last week during our 2-day week, so I wanted to give you one more opportunity to give it a try. Make a list of your favorite things in life and bring in your writing. Now, you can make that list, but now I want you to go beyond, because this week we're going to start talking about something called figurative language. That's basically when an author thinks about how they can make their writing more descriptive, but using specific tools and ways to do that. So this week we're going to talk about alliteration and onomatopoeia and hyperbole and personification. Next week we'll talk about similes and metaphors and cliches. But all of those things are a part of figurative language and helps bring the writing out. So what I want you to do, you can write this list and get your house points. But then you can make it another activity later in the week. Say, tomorrow we're going to talk about alliteration. How could you take one item from that list and make it into that alliteration? Okay, be a really, really cool application level activity that you could do at home. If you want to get a little head start on what I mean by alliteration, you can check out the figurative language section under the class news, My Word Wizard. And there you're going to find some very cool poems. If it loads, let me load the page one more time, guys. Don't know if my internet's oh, here we are. So if you scroll down just a bit, okay, you're going to find some pretty cool poems, but they have alliteration. So just read over one of them and see what I might mean by alliteration, and we'll be talking about it more in class tomorrow. So I'm going to leave you with that for this week. Tons of opportunities to get some house points. Here is your secret code for the week. It is #FamilyNight on Wednesday. #FamilyNight on Wednesday. You can get yourself 5 house points for that hashtag. Okay, and if your reservation form is turned in, even if you can't make it, turn it in tomorrow. If you turn that in tomorrow, by tomorrow, some of you will already get these. You can get yourself 2 house points as well. So #FamilyNight is on Wednesday, and I'll see you guys later. Okay, Room 21 rock stars and rock star families, I hope that those strategies were successful to you. I hope to see all of you at our first family night this Wednesday night, 6 to 7:30 p.m. in the activity and room and cafeteria. Family game night. I am so incredibly excited. If you guys ever have any questions, comments, concerns, please do not hesitate to contact me, email, cell phone. Always stay up to date on our class Twitter account, @RikardRock, our weekly VODCAST, our class fusion page, all of those great resources. You guys are the best families in Stafford County, and I hope to see you Wednesday night or next week on the phone.